What's going on, all you wild Ghostface killers out there? It's your two favorite masked assailants back here for Cinefellas. I'm Logan Myers, my good man over there.
And I'm Henry Hill. And tonight we are talking about the brand new entry into the Scream franchise. We're talking about the brand new Scream 6.
Guys?
What's your favorite scary movie?
Geely.
Mine's How Still I Got a Groove back. But anyways, these two wild boys are back talking about the sixth installment in the Scream franchises. Franchise has been going on since the very first film, 1996. I love the original film. The last movie was awful. Hated it. So I went in with this film with super low expectations, but honestly had a pretty good time with it, surprisingly. And we have the same directors returning, the guys that did Ready or Not. Here
I come.
They're back, and they fixed a lot of the issues that I had with the first film, thankfully. And the writing, James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick wrote this movie as well, not Kevin Williamson, even though it's based on the characters by Kevin Williamson. Go to New York City. They finally get out of Woodsboro after all the slaughtering for the past 30 years, and they got some sense with the whole Jason Takes Manhattan route in this film. When they go to New York City, picks up with the two sisters, Sam and Tara, Melissa Barrera, and Jenna Ortega. That's no stranger to movies and TV shows as of late. She's blowing up. She's basically in everything that we love right now, and really great in this movie as well. But the sisters, trying to get settled into a new life, all the trauma that happened in the last film, a lot of people getting sliced and diced. They move with their friends to New York City and try to start a new chapter in their lives.
A new chapter, a new setting. It's what the franchise needed after being in Woodsboro for so long, dealing with the same characters. We pick up with these characters in New York, and right away we get the patented Scream first scene with a great kill. We see Samara Weaving from Ready or Not in a little cameo. She's waiting at a bar, and she ends up meeting Ghostface out in an alley. We're not going to give away any spoilers, but it's a really cool scene. It gets you, kind of integrated into the New York nightlife and just how crazy it is to see Ghostface like in a dark alley out in this big city. There's so many people to kill. It's not this small town of Woodsboro anymore. It's this big city. But of course, Ghostface is going to find the main cast, the new cast coming back over from the new movie, or the last movie, part 5, which both of us, were hopeful for when it was first announced, bringing back Nev Campbell, bringing back, the main cast, obviously Courtney Cox, bringing back Dewey. But ultimately, we were left disappointed and expecting more. Thankfully, this one being in New York and upping the gore by a lot, getting a lot of groovy kills, a lot of cool kills, and featuring, the girl, the, actress of the moment, Jenna Ortega. She's really like the female Pedro Pascal at this time, popping up in everything, enhancing everything that she's in. She enhances this movie too. But I really liked what they did with the story here. It could have just been throw Ghostface out in the city, and it could have been like your standard slasher movie, but they made it smart and they made it interesting this time. And, multiple ghost faces once again.
Yeah, I thought the intro of the film was really cool. The whole Drew Barrymore scenario with a beautiful woman gets sliced and diced. She's going to be a big star of the movie, but not really. But they set it up kind of on the right foot, like paying homage to the original film, which I absolutely loved. And the cool reveal of the killer in the very beginning. And then they're like, huh, that's how they're going to do this? And then it goes a different way, which is cool. A lot of twists and turns throughout the film I thought were pretty good. And I just think the cast really elevated it this time. I thought all the characters behind me were less annoying in this movie. Their characters were, tolerable, and you actually cared about them, which the last film, you just didn't give a shit about anybody. But I thought Melissa Barrera did a really great job as Sam. Billy Loomis's daughter, Skeet Ulrich from the first film, he showed up in the last movie. And then Tara is like her half sister, played by Jenna Ortega. They're really great together. Brother and sister Chad and Mindy, played by Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown, really fantastic. She's like the new Randy. They're Randy's niece and nephew. So she's always dropping some knowledge about, what's going on. They're very self-aware of what's going on, this movie is, and it's kind of poking fun at the genres sometimes of, prequels and sequels and all that. And just very clever. It had a lot of good, quick and witty humor in it.
It really did, yeah. It felt really reinvigorated the franchise. Whereas the past couple too have brought the franchise into the modern era with cell phones and everything. This one didn't rely a lot on that, but what it did was take all the past, storylines, characters, bring it to a new setting and integrate it all together. And it felt like it really integrated all the stories that you've had in this franchise from everybody's, even the subpar sequels, they were able to bring in all the characters and drop a lot of cool horror references along the way. We see, obviously the nod to Jason Takes Manhattan with it being shown on a TV screen. And, Carpenter, the last name of Carpenter, you're just getting throwbacks to all the great horror. So it's really great in that aspect. But, like I mentioned before, just the kills themselves are really awesome and brutal. We get the cool scene where the Ghostface goes in like the convenience stores and hunting the two girls. And, it gets to use a shotgun. When have we seen that before? We haven't ever seen that before.
No.
You see a lot of, brutal kills, a lot of stabbing, a lot of blood. And it really keeps you guessing up until the end. I have to say, I didn't know where this was going. There being so many angles and so many different possibilities. You see some minor characters that you're kind of suspicious about. And we even see some characters like Kirby come back into the action, back from part 4. We haven't seen her since then. She's back in the cast as an FBI agent who's kind of familiar with Ghostface and helping the new cast along. So really cool. We're not going to spoil anything, but it's really well done. And I have to, give kudos to the directors here and the writers, taking over the reins from Kevin Williamson, making it fresh and exciting, and making me actually for once really look forward to more and see what else they can do, at this point. Because at this point, with all the ghost faces there have been, after watching this and seeing where they go with it, really the possibilities are endless when it comes to this franchise, because somebody can take on the reins of Ghostface, and we do get several hints at that. Before the movie closes.
And that's right. This movie was absolutely refreshing. I love the new taking it somewhere else, kind of kickstarted this franchise, pushing it in the right direction, and they can do a lot of different things with the franchise moving forward. They kind of hint and set that up, maybe for possible more movies. And it did pretty well at the box office, so I wouldn't be surprised if this, another movie comes out in a year or two. And I'd be okay with that. I've seen all of them at this point, and this is something that I would actually really enjoyed. Like I said earlier, went in with super low expectations, but I had a fun time with it. It's an entertaining movie, fixed a lot of issues I had with part 5, and people out there haven't seen it, you're going to have a great time with this. Upstanding when it comes to gore, that was one of the best parts, is how brutal this movie is. It's some really intense, surprising scenes, how Ghostface goes about killing these people, picking them off one by one, really unique ways. And, compared to the franchise, it's always kind of the same old stuff, but they brought in some new kills, and really enjoyed the cast, and highly recommend it. So that being said, I'm going to give Scream 6. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 Courtney Cox hair pieces.
One of the better sequels of the Scream franchise, probably my second favorite Scream sequel. And that's saying a lot, being the 6th movie in the franchise, has a lot of issues to work out in order to, meet my expectations for what I want to see, to live up to the original, but also, make it fresh and exciting, and for the new cast to really come alive. Whereas in the last movie, they were kind of just playing scared kids. This one gave them fully fleshed out story, and I thought they really did a great job with it. All the minor characters, and I love what they did, with the new cast, recognize where they came from and the characters that they were related to, and really living up to that and being smarter than they have in the past. But at the same time, the Ghostface killer being, even more brutal, scary, and really surprising, like where he'd come from, where they'd come from, we should say, because it could be anybody. We're not giving anything away, but you never know who Ghostface is in this movie until the final reveal. So it's very well done. And I am going to give Scream 6 a 4 out of 5 Kirby hair pieces.
For my ratings, I'll go 1, 4, and 6. And then the other ones. So I want to hear from all you wild rascals out there. What did you like about Scream 6? What didn't you like about it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out these rascals on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and our website, cinefellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV, movie news and reviews.
That's right. And we are going to be back with lots of great reviews to come. We're actually going to see a girl from this cast pop up in a show that's returning. We're talking about Yellow Jackets and Jasmine Savoy Brown. She's going to be returning to the small screen in a highly anticipated follow-up season. So that great Showtime show that we really enjoyed and have been waiting to see more of. The new trailer was just released last week and gave us a glimpse to what we can expect, and it looks fun and exciting. But we want to hear from you guys and what you guys thought about Scream 6. Were you guys, pumped up and excited by what it brought to the screen? Let us know in the comment section below, as always. And thank you guys so much for following along and watching our review. So with that being said, until the next Cinefellas movie review, I'm Uncle Henry Mulroney.
I'm Uncle Logan Ortega. Until next time.
Cheers.